last a couple of weeks ago, I have conducted one live session about the role of astrologers in the changing times. So after seeing that video, and some people they have asked me to conduct one more live session, and this time they have given me one topic. They asked me to speak about this Kuja dosha or Mangalya dosha or Mangal, whatever may be the name. I am going to speak about Mangal, Mangali dosha, or Kuja dosha, or whatever may be the name called. I'm going to speak about it because what I'm commonly hearing from them is there is a difference of opinion among the astrologers. See, what one astrologer says, the other astrologer is not saying, and if they are going to third astrologer, they are saying something else, and they are totally confused with this. So now I want to present my views about this Kuja dosha or Mangalya dosha or Mangala or Manglik. There are four different names, and whatever during the course of this live session, I will be using these four different words. See, first one is Kuja dosha, Mangal dosha, or Manglik. Whatever may be the name I am using, it is the same. For my convenient purposes, I will be using the word Kuja dosha. And first, before commencing this live session, I want to offer my due respects to Sage Parashara and Sage Jaimini, followed by Mantreshwara and Vaidyanatha Dikshita. And my respects to them, and with their blessings, I want to, seeking their blessings, I want to start today's live session. So, this Kuja dosha, where it is exactly mentioned, for us, we have our classics. Astrological classics. We have so many astrological classics like Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. The first book every astrologer has to read is Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Then we have this Phaladipika, Jataka Alankara, Jataka Bharana, Phala Ratnamala, and so many. But now I am taking some references from the principal book for Indian Vedic astrology, that is Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, and from there I am taking some references. There are three shlokas in chapter 80. This chapter is called as Three Jataka, and Sage Parashara has given some three shlokas. For our convenient purpose, I will read these shlokas and then I will decipher them, and then I will jump into the main subject. So in this sloka 47 of chapter 80, Sage Parashara mentions Lagne, Vyaye, Sukhe, Va api, Saptame, Vastame, Kuje, Subhadrug Yoga Hine, Cha Patim, Hantina, Na Samshaya. This is how this sloka 47 goes, and followed by sloka 47, Yasmin, Yoge, Samutpanna, Patim Hanti Kumarika, Tasmin Yoge, Samutpanno, Patnim Hanti, Naropicha. This is the followed by the 48th sloka, and coming to the final sloka, this is very important sloka. Three Hanya Parinita Chat Patihantri Kumarika Tadha Vaidhavya Yogasya Bhango, underline the word Vaidhavya Yoga Bhanga Bhavati Nishchaya. So he is mentioning if planet Mars is the Karaka for Mangalya for a woman. Here, let me use the word woman, but I will give you a clarification at a later stage. Mangalya for woman. And it is eighth house in the natal chart of a woman represents her Mangala Sthana, and Mangala planet Mangala is phosphor. It represents this Mangalya. So any dosha for if Mars is not properly aspected or beneficially posited, it may cause Mangalya dosha for a women. So house, he has given some list of houses. First one is Lagne, that is the first house. Vyaye, that is the 12th house. Sukhe, 4th house. Saptame, 7th house. And the 8th house. So he is not following a first 1, 12, 4, 7 and 8 he is saying. If Mars is posited, so why he is not mentioning, he could have told 1, 4, 7, 8, 12. He is not telling like that. First, after first, he jumped to house number 12. And then he moved to house 4, house 7. House 7 and finally house 8. So why he said like this? If posited in first house, the intensity is much less, and if it's posted in the 12th house, the intensity increases a little. Then if he sits in 4th house, it still increases, and it is 7th house, it still increases, and finally the dreadful house is how the 8th house. If Mars is posited in the 8th house, like Subhadrik Yoga Hine, and if he is not properly or beneficially aspected by any benefits, this word also you have to underline. Kudetosha is not a blanket application. Mars must be posited in these houses, and he should not be aspected by benefic planets. If he is not aspected by benefic planets like Jupiter, Venus, well-placed Mercury, or waxing moon, then we can say that if these combinations are present in any woman chart, that woman will become a widow. That is what Sage Parashara wants to say. And he did not stop there. He did not restrict this to only women. He applied even the same combinations. If these combinations are present in the male chart, the male will become a widow. Yeah? That is what he wants to say. And he has given a conclusion finally. If in both the charts of a male and a female, if these combinations are present, Vaidhavya Yogasya Bhango, Vaidhavya Yogasya Bhango. Now he's mentioning using the word Vaidhavya Yoga Bhanga. It means this yoga gets cancelled. That is what he wants to say. Okay. Now we have 5 houses now: 1, 12, 4, 7, 8, 12, and after so many years, so many centuries, there is another classic came that is called Paladipika by Mantreshwara. Here in chapter 10, he in sloka 7, this Mantreshwara added even house 2. So now the houses have become so 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, and finally 12. If Mars is posited in these houses, it may cause a Vaidhavya yoga, and the horoscopes are to be properly matched when they are getting married. If these combinations are present in both the charts, it means this Vaidhavya yoga gets cancelled. That is what Sage Parashara wants to say. So this has become so many persons have conveniently left 2 words here: Subhadruk Yoga Hine. This word they left. So if he is not properly beneficially aspected, then this yoga will not be there. So this is what I want to say. And now, how far this actually works? Somebody said something, you cannot apply it a blanket. This is not a blanket application to each and every chart. See, basically we have to still go into this astrology is not a pseudoscience. It is basically an applied science. It is to be whatever is right that we have to apply to each and every natal chart. It does not, one chart is applying, it is not in the same principles. You have to apply it to the other chart as well. See, one chart is applying, you cannot say that that works in the other chart as well. The chart is specific because and that is the reason it is. We call this as an applied science. It is proven one. So first, who is this Mars? This Mars is a fiery planet. Mars is a fiery planet. He is the owner of 1st and 8th houses. The 1st house and the 8th house of a natural zodiac. And his duty is commander-in-chief. Remember this word. Mars is a commander-in-chief. Basically, he is the commander-in-chief. See, we don't take the example of commander-in-chief of Pakistan Army, but let us take the example of chief of Indian Army. See, this commander-in-chief of the army, even though he is a supreme power, he is a superpower, he will not act on his own. He must be triggered by somebody. So, President of India has to give him some instruction to act or not to act on something. Then only he works. Otherwise, he will not act on anything. Okay. Now, so during this session, I want to answer what is Kuja Dosha. I already answered. When and how it works, I am going to read for all of you now. I am going to tell you a couple of remedies, some remedies as well. What remedies as well? So now here, I believe here is a question. See here one person asked you said do puja dosha applies to only to female charts? As I already read in my earlier slokas, this sloka 47 says it is for females, and sloka 48 says it applies for even females as well, even for male charts as well. So this it applies to both female and male charts. So in this regard, so many, as I told you in the beginning of this discussion, so many astrologers, they are creating some terror in the minds of seekers, whoever. So whether this is correct or not, that is the purpose. I want to give some clarifications, and that is the purpose of this session. Okay, actually, so much of research in this is done by our astrological experts like Supraja Ramaraman, Gayatri Devi Vasudev, K.N. Rao, V.P. Goel, etc. And they express some opinions, and I am going to share those opinions with you now. See, basically, this in our human body, this Mars represents this Manipura chakra. Manipura chakra lies between sternum and the navel. Okay, and Manipura chakra it represents ego in the human ego. Okay. Now we came across some 6 houses when we are discussing. As I told you, Mars is positioned in 6 houses. He proves to be fatal. So what are those houses? First house is 1. Second house is 12, 2, 4, 7, and finally 8. 1, 12, 2, 4, 7, 8. So I am putting 8. If Mars is posited in the 8th house, it is the worst position for a Mars, because Mars represents Mangalya for a lady, and if Mars is posited in the Karaka, that Karaka house is 8th house, and if Karaka is posited in that the Karaka house, it is Karako Bhavanasaya. Okay, now. But this cannot be applied in a blanket way. There are some exceptions to this. So totally 6 houses. See, in a zodiac, basically that zodiac stays in one sign for 2 hours in a day of from one sunrise to next sunrise. This ascendant changes 12 times. So for every 2 hours, it stays in one sign. Say, as of now, when I am doing this presentation, say now ascendant is in Leo, and Leo 3rd degree, so it means it just entered. So now time is 3:30, and around 5 to 5:15 again it moves to Virgo. So every 2 hours it changes. If Mars is posited in 1, 12, 2, 4, 7, 8 houses from this Lagna, it causes Kuja dosha. So it means 50% of the houses are affected with this Kuja dosha every day. So we cannot say that Kuja dosha is very rare astrological phenomena, but actually it is very common as a person, 50% of the persons in the world living at any point of time, they have this Kuja dosha. So you need not get scared. So I will give you some combinations where this Kuja dosha proves to be fatal. I am not going to read all because of the limitations. First, I will, out of the 12 positions, there are 12 houses in a natural zodiac. Mars is dreadful in 6 houses, so totally 72. 12 times 6 is 72. Out of this 72 places, Mars is very dangerous if he is posited in 6 houses. Those houses I will read for you. Say, if Cancer is your first house, then it is dangerous, because that is his debilitation sign. And if Mars is posited in 8th house, and that is your Cancer sign, it is also dangerous. And Mars is posited in 12th house, that is your Cancer sign. Mars is dangerous here. And now let us move to Leo. If Leo is your second house and Mars is posited there, it is somewhat dangerous. It is extremely dangerous. And Capricorn and Aquarius are your eighth house, and Mars is posited there. It is dangerous. Not all houses. So I read only 6 houses now. So in these houses, we can experience death of a spouse. In these cases, if any person is having Mars in these houses, if Mars is posited in Cancer sign, that is your rising sign, that is the Lagna, or it is the 8th house and Mars is posited there, and if Cancer is your 12th house and Mars is posited there, and next comes to Leo, if it is your second house and Mars is posited there. And if Aquarius and Capricorn and Aquarius are your 8th houses and Mars is posted there, the horoscopes are to be properly matched with the person who is having the same kind of dosha. Okay, this is how the horoscope matching is to be done while matching the horoscopes. That means this here we let us link this to 49 sloka. The horoscopes must be properly matched. This is what Sage Parashara says. Here is another person. See, sometimes we come across some exceptions to this Kuja dosha, that if Mars owns some houses, or Mars is friend of some house lords, there will be this Kuja dosha gets knocked off. Whether one seeker is asking whether this is correct or not, my straight answer is no. There are no exceptions to this Kuja dosha. So one more seeker is asking why Mars is so dreadful in 8th house. See, I have already explained you once this sometime before. 8th house represents 8th house is Kalatra Sthana and Mars is Kalatra Karaka. And if Mars is positioned in the 8th house, this is Karaka positioned in the Karaka house. That is Karako Bhavanasaya. And you cannot straight away apply this Karako Bhavanasaya concept. You have to refer to the D9 chart. And if in D9 chart also, if Mars is positioned in the Lagna, that is your ascendant sign, then only this Karako Bhavanasaya concept applies. Otherwise, this Karako Bhavanasaya concept will not apply. So, I will give you some examples where this mound is. Again, Mars gives some bad results in 13 houses, and Mars gives mild results, bad results in some 10 houses. I am not going to read everything, all of them for you. And if anybody wants, they can consult your astrologer, and they will guide you properly. And there is one blanket exemption to this. This exemption you can straight away take it as if Mars is posted in the Indramsa of a zodiac sign. That means Kuja dosha is completely uprooted. That we can say. I will give you some remedies. From there we can see. See, basically there are 4 kinds of remedies: Parihara, Upaya, Nivarana, and Munikarana. These are the 4 kinds of remedies we have. First, Parihara is matching of horoscopes. That I already told you. We have to, when you are matching a horoscope with other person. So when I am reading for those 6 combinations, I told you that this one person with this dosha has to match with similar kind of dosha in the other chart also. This is called as Parihara. Particularly, you exercise caution when Mars is posted in the 2nd house, and if that is your and that is your Leo sign. In Unikarna is something you have to chant that Kuja mantra. This is what you can find in every temple. That is same temple, same mantra you can chant for getting ready. To reduce the effects, we cannot say that Kuja dosha will be uprooted. And there is something called Upaya. See, in some cases, I am seeing some astrologers, they are saying this, perform this Kumbha Vivaha or Kadali Vivaha. Actually, this kind of thing, they don't work straight away, don't follow all those things. Actually, when a human being has to be married to another human being. If one female is married to one Kumbha, that is a part, or one male is married to a Kadali Vivaha, is married to say banana tree, these kinds of things. Don't trust all of them. It is my you take these words from me. So parihara means if there is a problem and there is a cure for the problem, that is matching of horoscopes. Then upaya, if there is a problem, you cannot completely uproot it, but you can reduce it. That is what upaya. Nivarana, that means eliminate at the source. That is I told you if Mars is, I will come to by later what is Nivarana. This Nyunikarana, in the sense, chanting of Kuja mantra is Nyunikarana, and finally I will talk about this Nivarana. This point, please listen to me carefully. If there is a Amsha called Indra Amsha in every zodiac sign, there is an Amsha called Indra Amsha. If Mars is posited in this particular degrees of a zodiac sign, you can say that Kuja dosha is completely uprooted. So for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn signs, if Mars is posited between 21 degrees 36 minutes to 21 degrees 48 minutes, and for Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, if he is posited between 8 degrees 12 minutes to 8 degrees 24 minutes, and for Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, he is posited between 6 degrees 36 minutes to 6 degrees 48 minutes. This particular period in a sign is called as Indra Amsa. If Mars is posited in this Indra Amsa, you can say that Kuja dosha is completely uprooted. Now I have received some questions. I will try to answer them. See, one person is asking whether exalted Mars gives more Kuja dosha or a debilitated Mars gives more Kuja dosha. See, basically, the exalted Mars, both are actually equal. And in my opinion, this basically exalted Mars gives more Kuja dosha. If Mars is in Capricorn sign, he gives more Kuja dosha. And one more seeker is asking, is there any connection between Mars dasa and Kuja dosha? It is not that way. Any dasa this but only the transit has to trigger the event, but dasa support also must be there. If dasa lord is supreme and this event transit is so bad, event may not happen. This is what I want to say. So this is what I want to talk about this Kuja dosha. If any, I believe. So basically, what I want to conclude this discussion by saying, don't simply trust anything just like that a blanket application. Take expert opinions. Then only act accordingly. Don't unnecessarily go and perform some pujas, Kadali Vivaha, Kumbha Vivaha. They don't work. Okay. I thank you everyone for being here today, and I will come back to you with one more excellent session. Next time I am planning to make another session about Sade Sati. I'll come back to you very soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.